Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations, and in today's video, we're going to be diving into some Cookie Run Kingdom, and I think it's about time we update that PVE tier list, man. We've had a handful of cookies drop into the game since we did the last one, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Diving right in, ladies and gentlemen, so for today's video, as you can see here on screen, we're going to be taking a look at the tier maker's website, all right? I went ahead and added in all of the epic cookies. Again, we're only reviewing epic cookies for PVE content, that is player versus environment. If you do not know, this is not the arena or any sort of player versus player PvP ranking system, all right? As you can see here on the left-hand side, we've got your general ranks of SS all the way down to C tier. That's going to be all we're going to cover for today, and then not only that, you can see all of the individual cookies, and I do have those new cookies. So like red velvet, strawberry crepe, pastry is also on this list. We've got fig cookie loaded in here as well. If you haven't been around for too terribly long in the game, we do have almond and a couple other ones that are new as well. All right. So with that being said, starting off on SS rank, these are going to be the staple cookies that I think every single player in this game is going to need, all right? The first one's going to be Dark Choco, obviously. You need that Dark Choco for that defense break, no matter what team composition you are building. Next up, we're going to be reviewing is going to be the Pure Vanilla, obviously, right? It's Pure Vanilla. You probably already knew that it was going to be on this list, especially on the top ranks, because it's the best healer in the game. Just there's no questions asked. And then last but not least, for the SS tier units for PvE is going to be Licorice, all right? Licorice, again, probably arguably the best tank in the game. It is a magic cookie, so just keep that in mind. But at the end of the day, you just can't go without Licorice, right? I mean, it is what it is. You're gonna hit a wall somewhere in the content without having Licorice, where you're gonna need them in order to progress. All right, so these three are gonna be what I call staple cookies. The next tier we've got is gonna be the S tier units. All right, the S tier units are gonna be what I call DPS fillers, or fillers for like your healer. All right, so to give you guys an example, the first one obviously is going to be Vampire, right? If you're running these three as a staple to your team comp, running a Vampire is 100% recommended. Arguably the best single target damage dealer in the game, pretty much for any content. I'm just going to put that out there. This one is not just catered to only a PvE, but all right, so we've got Vampire here. The next one up is going to be Herb Cookie. All right, so now the reason why Herb is on S tier is going to be because a lot of players, if you do not have Pure Vanilla as a staple, then you're going to directly need somebody else to replace your healer, and that's going to be Herb. All right, so Herb's going to go on the S tier unit because, again, these are DPS or filler cookies. The next one up we got is going to be Black Raisin. All right, now Black Raisin Cookie, you might be questioning it. Black Raisin Cookie is actually really good, and he actually has outbeat, in my opinion, and a lot of other players in the community that have progressed pretty much through mid game and are working their way to end game. Black Raisin has pretty much taken over the spot of Espresso, right? Like, with the exception, if you already have an Espresso, then obviously focus on it and build an Espresso. But if you don't, and you have picked up a copy of Black Raisin, don't feel bad about investing in him just for overall damage output. Next one up is going to be obviously Rye Cookie, all right? Rye Cookie, again, very good DPS unit, easily able to utilize on your team comp to not feel bad about it because he's going to do a massive amount of damage, and you can utilize him through pretty much all of the PvE content in the game, whether it's guild boss battles, whether it's world exploration, whether it's bounties, whether it's the chaos tower. You could pretty much use him anywhere to add a lot of extra damage to your team. Even the arena kind of goes hand in hand with Vampire. All right, the last one up we've got for the S tier is going to be Latte Cookie. Latte Cookie, again, really good unit, solid unit, really good for arena as well. It's definitely ranking up there in pretty much all content in the game as you progress and utilize Latte, just for the slowing ability, the interrupt ability, and then also just the DOT or damage over time. A really good DPS unit to add overall to your team. She brings a megaton of AoE, all right? Really nice. Moving on to the next tier that we've got for you guys is going to be what I call situational, or if you do not have the DPS fillers for your team that you could not feel bad about investing in and swapping some of these S tier units out for your overall team comp. All right, so the first one up is going to be Espresso. Now, I talked a little bit about this when we mentioned, you know, Black Raisin. Black Raisin has pretty much taken over Espresso's spot. Espresso is still a very good cookie, myself included. I am still utilizing Espresso because I already already invested in him early on. So if you've already done that, don't feel bad about using Espresso over somebody like Black Raisin, but if you don't have either of them and you get a Black Raisin, it's advised to continue pushing Black Raisin, because not only can you utilize him throughout the entire story mode or PvE, a lot of players are also utilizing him in the arena for something like the Raimon comp, all right? That next one up, mentioning Raimon, is going to be Almond Cookie, all right? Almond Cookie, again, very situational, can be used basically with a specific team composition. You're going to utilize Almond to spread apart or spread out AoE damage across whatever, you know, enemy that you are going up against, whether it's PvE or PvP. You can still technically use the Raimon comp. A lot of players, I think, are using Raimon in like chapter 10 and everything for the overall world exploration mode, so just keep that in mind. But Almond, again, definitely a solid unit even for PvE, so going to be there on the A tier. Next one up is going to be the Lily Stun. Now, Tiger Lily, again, really situational unit. You're going to only want to bring Tiger Lily if you are trying to pull off a stun comp. The same thing goes hand in hand with Red Velvet, right? Red Velvet Cookie is a brand new one that just dropped in the game. He is going to be really good for a stun, so he basically can target the enemy, pull them to the front, stun them for a total, I believe it's 5 seconds. I think it's 5 seconds, but basically between him and Tiger Lily, if you're trying to clear a specific stage like 725, maybe Trey 61 in the Chaos Tower, just different levels in the overall world exploration or PvE content, these two cookies can definitely add a lot of value. But again, keep in mind, these are very situational. You're not going to be ranking, like I said, on the S tier or SS tier for world exploration or PvE, all right? Alrighty, now moving right along to the next one we've got in the rank, and that's going to be B, all right? Now, the B rank, in my opinion, for me, I made it a subpar rank, which for me just basically means that if you have no other cookies from the rank A or S to put on your overall team composition, remember SS is going to be the staple units. You should be focusing and trying to get those units 100%. But if you do not have anybody from A or S, maybe you're just starting out in the game and you don't have any of those units, but you happen to pull somebody from the B tier, then I highly recommend running somebody from this section, all right? So from B, we've got Strawberry Crepe, all right? Strawberry Crepe, if you don't already know, 100% excels in the arena, right? That's going to be the playground for Strawberry Crepe. Not so much PvE. However, Strawberry Crepe definitely outshines, you know, your Milk Cookie, and definitely outshines your, is it Madeline Cookie? Both of those have been pretty much replaced by Strawberry Crepe in any content in the game, just because the shield skill slash buff is really nice, and you can still use it to your advantage in PvE. That's going to be the reason why I have put them on the B tier, all right? Next one up is going to be Yam Bam or Yam Cookie. Yam Cookie adds damage. It's a damage dealing cookie. It's a charge. It's a frontline unit. Definitely does some damage, but not the best damage, and it's not the best cookie, and you're not going to use them pretty much in any other content. So, you know, it goes here just because if you don't have anybody else, like I said, you don't have any DPSers from A or S, then don't feel bad about investing into Yam early on, just to give you a little bit of an edge to clear some additional content in the world exploration. But at the end of the day, just know he will fall off, and you're going to want to replace them with somebody from A or S as soon as possible. Same thing goes for Sparkling. Sparkling, again, is going to be a subpar, in my opinion, healer. It's not going to be your main focus. It's not going to carry you through all of the later chapters and the in-game content. Your 100% focus should be on getting and pulling herb as early as you possibly can, and utilizing custard as much as possible. However, Sparkling is not a bad option if you don't have a choice, right? It's going to give you that crit rate up and healing on 2 of your lowest HP cookies, so not the end of the world. Last but not least, for B tier is going to be Milk Cookie. Again, we already know about Milk Cookie. Hardcore was, you know, the meta for season 1, or at least for the early game when the game first dropped. Definitely a really good defense cookie. Has basically a taunt ability and a damage reduction ability for him alone, but at the end of the day, he's pretty much fallen off, all right? So Milk Cookie has fallen off by this point. I wouldn't really invest too much into Milk, because again, it's not going to carry you through mid and late game. You're going to want to be replacing him with somebody like Licorice Cookie 100%, and then some of the other ones, you know, with other DPSers in Dark Choco immediately, all right? So that's going to be pretty much it when it comes to the SSS, A, and B. Now, pretty much for C, we're going to go ahead and place everybody down here on the list. You can drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, or why you would argue that some of these should be higher on the tier list. But in my personal opinion, all of these cookies are very situational. They're very niche to a team composition. So pomegranate, 100% really good cookie for PvP, and then like guild boss battle, definitely 100%. But at the end of the day, overall, I wanted to make a tier list that anybody should feel good about investing in, and I just don't think that pomegranate is one. If your main focus is to cover PvE content like the world exploration, Pom is not going to offer a whole lot there for you guys. Same thing with pastry. I know there is some team compositions that have been building and utilizing pastry through the world exploration, but again, it's very niche, very expensive to build, and it does require some additional things like specific treasures and things like that. So again, very niche. I just don't think it's worth investing in, especially for a new player jumping into the game. Madeline, again, just another tank cookie, not something to invest in. Cream Puff was an absolute waste. Dev Sisters, if you're watching this video, replace Cream Puff. Get them out of the guild system. We want to get a new guild gotcha cookie. Chili Pepper, really good early on damage dealer, but again, falls off really hard. Black Raisin pretty much replaces Chili. Snowflake, never going to use. Werewolf, never going to use. Kumiho, never going to use. Chocolate Chip Mint Cookie can be good in specific, situations, but again, very niche. Next up, Poison Cookie. It's a sad one for Poison Cookie. I really wish that they would buff them. I really do like its overall kit, in introducing poison and bombs would be really nice, but again, not going to be worth utilizing at this point. And then last but not least, the brand new Fig Cookie as well, not going to be worth using or investing in. So that's going to be pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen, for the overall tier list. As always, you guys let me know down below in the comments if you guys think that something should be changed or swapped around, whether you agree or disagree. But like I said, I just wanted to bring you guys my personal opinion on the overall cookies, where I would personally rank them, what is worth investing in when it comes to your overall experience jellies. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notification every time we drop a video. We've got a link down below to the Discord. We'd love to have you guys in there. And as always, I will see you on the next one.